Howdy folks, I'm Tiny Tundra Vole, trustily touting true tautologies.
I'm Amber.
And here are more true tautologies for us to trust fully in, much like Reddit. So let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Will I be a jerk if I threw away all of my husband's shaker bottles? So my husband met someone at a gym and started a thing with her. I don't know how far it went because he deleted everything and locked his phone down. We're not staying together, but we're stuck with each other until he can afford to move out. When I found out, I kicked him to the couch and I stopped doing everything that he expects a wife to do, cooking, cleaning, laundry, etc. I do the dishes so that our son and I have something clean to eat off of, but I haven't washed his shaker bottles for months. I'm sure you can understand my reasoning here. He also refuses to wash them because that's my job. Yesterday, I noticed a stink in the house and I traced it back to his shaker bottles. He put them in the sink and ran water in them, and now they have some pretty cool mold growing on top. I put all of the lids on, but I'm wondering if I would be the jerk if I just threw them out. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, given that mold is a biohazard, I don't think that OP would be in the wrong. I generally do not agree with throwing away other people's property, but again, mold. And
Yeah.
so, if OP doesn't want to throw it away directly, if they have like a garage or somewhere where they can like bag it up and have it away from everything, but these balls should certainly not be sitting in the sink where they can interact with other dishes.
Yeah, I think that this is a sanitary issue at this point in time, and OP can give them a warning and say if you don't take care of these and clean them out properly within the next 48 hours, 24 hours, something like that, then they are going to be thrown away,
Mm-hmm.
right? That way he at least has a chance to take care of the problem. But at this point in time, I think he needs to bleach the insides of those,
Yeah,
right?
like once something has mold, like grows mold in it like that, like I don't know, I would be reluctant to ever drink out of it again.
Yeah, not a great situation. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, 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 tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Accidental jerk.
I mean, I don't see that wheel.
Well, maybe they mean like if she threw them out, then they would
Mm.
accidentally be the jerk in that situation.
Yeah, I still don't see it because like the audacity of this man being like, "This is your duty. I know I'm cheating on you, but like you gotta clean my shaker bottles." Like even if he wasn't cheating, it still wouldn't be OP's duty. But like, come on,
Yeah.
he's lucky that OP hasn't set fire to everything he owns.
And animals are angels, 87 says. Pack them up with his clothing and put them all out front. He cheated. And the comment, that's your job. Nope. Don't care what he can afford. Call one of his friends or family to come get his garbage and his cheating butt. And OP replies, I would love to do that, but like all abusive people, he's made me reliant on him. I was stay-at-home mom with no car when I found out that he was cheating. I'm biding my time and saving up for a car. Until then, I need him to drive me to work and help pay the bills. And as soon as I can, his stuff will be waiting in trash bags by the door. Well, I'm glad that OP has a plan and an
Mm-hmm.
out here. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for yelling at my wife after she got rid of my guitars? Edit, thank you all for the answers. I will be muting notifications from this cause my inbox is blowing up, but thank you. I'm a 27-year-old male and I've been married for about 3 months now. My wife, a 27-year-old female, is genuinely the greatest person to ever come into my life and I would die for her. Now for some context. I have been playing guitar since I was 12. I have been in a band with mostly the same people since I was 15. Music is a very big part of who I am and it's very important to me. I had 9 guitars at the time of this incident, which may seem excessive, but trust me, it's not. Each one has a different purpose and meaning to me. Well, about a week ago, my wife decided that I had too many guitars and that they were taking up too much space. I have a floor rack that holds about 7 guitars, so 2 were just floating around in my office. She decided that these 2 were the ones that needed to go since I didn't have a place for them. Well, while I was at work, she took them to a pawn shop and sold them both, conveniently not telling me. And one was a $300 acoustic and the other was my first electric. To be honest, I didn't really care about the acoustic, but the electric has a very special place in my heart. Not only was it my first, but it was the last guitar that a very close friend of mine worked on before he committed suicide about a year ago. When I got home and I found out, I was extremely angry and I yelled at her. This was the first time that I have been that angry in a long time. And seeing her cry over my overly harsh words made me really unsure of what to do. Both of us have tried to make our ends right. I'm honestly not sure who's in the wrong here. I also would like to try and get the electric back, but I feel like that would be wrong to the pawn shop owner just to ask for it. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. And I would definitely recommend contacting the pawn shop owner, letting them know this was sold without your consent. And you can just give them the money back for that one. You know, they're not going to probably give it back to you for free, but you know, your wife can give you the money and you can give them the money back that it cost.
Yeah, I definitely think that OP should go to the pawn shop immediately and explain the situation and say that this was would be considered stolen goods, that this wasn't sold with with OP's knowledge.
Yeah. And so if the wife was concerned about clutter, she needed to have a conversation. Like, first of all, it sounds like the guitars were in OP's office. So I don't understand how that's cluttering up the house too much to begin with. But if she really is worried about clutter, she needed to talk to OP and try and find a common ground. You can't just give away your partner's stuff without their consent.
Yeah. Well, and that's really where I fall. I mean, even with like the last episode where like they were a health hazard, I will be a little more understanding with the like throwing them out without talking to them, but I still think talking to them would be the right thing, right? In this particular case, she really should have made an effort to talk to OP, especially if it was bothering her this much, right?
Right. And why did she do this without talking to him? You know, did she just think OP wouldn't notice, wouldn't care, or did she know he would notice and care and just like assume that he would just go along with it because it's gone now?
I think that's probably the case. I think that she just thought that he would be not really say anything about it because he's got 7 guitars now, right? So what's the big deal if you get rid of 2? So yeah, I mean, it was in poor form for her to do this. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Janet in Spain says, not the jerk. She deserved to be yelled at. Go ASAP to the pawn shop and tell him that your wife did this behind your back. If he has any ethics at all, he will give it back to you for what he paid. Or at worst, he'll ask for a small profit. But don't delay. You're not sure who's in the wrong. Your wife is in the wrong. She violated your trust. She went behind your back. She sold your personal property. Yeah, this is not good. She's 100% in the wrong. What do you think of the whole she deserved to be yelled at?
I don't think anyone deserves to be yelled at generally. Like, I mean, I can't necessarily say ever because there's a time and place, like if your kid is running into traffic, so I'm going to back up my statement a little bit. Yeah, I don't think she deserved to be yelled at per se. I can understand why OP would yell in the situation, but it's not a good way to have a relationship with someone you care about.
No, little Timmy, don't run in the road.
Well, as far as like, I better clarify this because there is a time when yelling can be effective.
Please, little Timmy, stop. No, don't do that.
But like, you know, yelling at someone because you're angry at them is generally not a good course of action. It's not a healthy way of communicating.
It's not a great way, and it really just closes down the lines of communication. And OP replies, if he has any ethics, he does not. Dude is 50-something addict and dating a 20-year-old. Not the first time that he sold off stolen stuff either. Dude actually does not care. Well, then OP, the sooner you get there, the better.
Yeah, and like you can also get the police involved. Like if they know he's selling stolen goods, he's gonna have to hand it over. Might be a tricky situation with the wife, but...
Well, the trouble is because they're a married couple, likely this would fall under joint property in some respect, so it wouldn't necessarily be stolen property because she sold it with her own consent. So I don't know if OP would be able to get a police report on that or anything like that. It's just probably be considered a domestic matter.
That's not cool.
And a Pi 10 poll says, not the jerk. First, what your wife did was a huge jerk thing to do. Second, you have every right to ask for the guitar back in exchange for the money that he gave your wife. He essentially bought stolen property. Out of curiosity, what did your wife do with the money? And OP replies, she was saving it to fix our upstairs shower. It doesn't work, and it kind of needs to. I mean, at least she didn't go out and have a shopping spree or something like that.
Yeah, but like if they need to more money to fix it, then again that still needs to be a mutual decision, and like she could have sold her own stuff to make this happen or asked OP, do you have anything we can sell to make this happen?
And Solo Company says, what are you wasting your time on Reddit for? If the electric is really important to you, you should be on the phone with the pawn shop and tell them to hold it. Then get your butt down there and explain. The fact that you haven't intercepted the sale of your beloved guitar makes me question how important it is to you. And OP replies, both me and my wife have called the shop multiple times over the past week. The shop owner is weird AF and keeps saying that he forgot where he put it. I despise that guy. That's not good. That's not good at all. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for asking for the coffee machine that I bought for my ex, 25-year-old female, back? I bought a coffee machine for her which cost about $500 plus in December of last year. This is quite a bit of money for me, and only 6 weeks later she breaks up with me because I'm too busy with work to spend time with her, and I'm not considerate. In any case, when I mentioned that I want it back, she called me a jerk and mean. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, you're a jerk, and I can see why she broke up with you. Like, when you give someone a gift, it is generally understood that it is a gift and you don't get it back. The one big exception is engagement rings because they kind of come with a contract. This was not an engagement coffee machine, and you freely gave it to her, and that's that.
I have a new trend that I would like to start. Engagement coffee machines. What way to express your love for that special someone in your life than to buy them a coffee machine? Maybe even diamond encrusted coffee machine.
I mean, you might have a winning idea on your hands given how much some people love their coffee.
Do you love your coffee as much as you love your partner? Show them how much you appreciate both them and coffee by buying them a coffee machine. Surely you will never put them second in your life. I'm talking about the coffee machine, not your partner. Yeah, I think that OP, they should not be asking for this coffee machine back. It was a present, and I can understand their frustration with them, being broken up with a few weeks later, right? Like, it sounds like she just wanted to get through Christmas, the Christmas season, because sometimes people will just get through a season because they don't want to have like a breakup or something like that associated with like the holiday season, and that might very well be what happened.
It could be, like, but a month and a half is a pretty long time too, so there's all kinds of things like that happened during that duration.
And that's fair too, right?
I mean, it could be like that OP, like there's been a long trend and there was something that happened recently that like he's just been trying to buy her off with gifts or something and thinking that was a substitute for actually spending time with her and taking her needs into account.
Yeah, and I wonder if this was like getting close to Valentine's Day and she didn't want to be like alone for Valentine's. Maybe this wasn't the first time that she spent her time by herself there. So, I mean, it's really difficult to understand why she broke up from this short of a letter. But at the end of the day, I think that OP would be wrong to ask for the coffee machine back. Even if she was completely unjustified in breaking up with them, then it would still be a wrong thing to ask because a gift is a gift. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my friend that I was done inviting her to parties? I'm a 22-year-old female and I throw a lot of dinner parties, like a ton. I love to cook, so I always put food on the table and I am a pretty good chef, I would say. One of my friends comes over to all of them. The problem is that she takes all of the leftovers. Every single time that there's a scrap left, she takes it. And I appreciate that she doesn't want to waste food, but that's not the problem. The problem is I want some of the leftovers as well. So I told her that when we were eating this time, hey, don't take the leftovers, okay? And she was like, yeah, sounds good. Well, fast forward to the end of the party, she takes all of the leftovers. When I noticed later that night, I texted her and said, hey, if you can't stop taking leftovers, then I'm not going to invite you anymore. She says, okay. The next time she comes over for our party, I remind her while we're eating that I don't want her to take the leftovers. She says okay, and when she's about to leave, I was sitting there near the table, and guess what I see? She's taking leftovers. So I tell her that if she couldn't listen to the boundary that I set, the clear consequence that I discussed with her was that she would not be invited to any more parties. She said that it wasn't fair, that she couldn't have some, and said that she was only taking a little bit this time. I'm not sure if that's true, but I told her that I didn't want her to take any. She says okay and puts them back. Fast forward to next time I host a party, she isn't invited. Apparently she found out through the grapevine, which makes sense, we share quite a few friends. And she got mad, saying that she put them back and that I should have invited her again. I think that she might be right. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, the audacity of this woman. Like, first of all, it's general etiquette that, like, even if your host tells you you can take leftovers, that doesn't mean literally take everything. Like, there's a lot of people here who might all appreciate some leftovers, you know. It doesn't even necessarily seem like OP even asked people to take leftovers. It just seems like she's been doing this on her own. OP makes it very clear, hey, don't take all the leftovers. What does she do? Say yes and then clean OP out. And then OP tells her again. And what, you know, like, it's like, there's after how many times does she have to be told, like, you're an adult, you can understand that no means no.
Yeah, I think that, again, this food is OP's property, right? And you don't take people's property without asking them first. And I know that food is sometimes shared communally, and you know, where sometimes you do take leftovers and stuff like that, but that's generally only for like potlucks where everyone contributes some dish or something like that. If she isn't contributing any dishes at all, then it would be completely wrong for her to take leftovers, period, is kind of the way I view it.
Yeah, unless they're volunteered. Because, like,
Yeah.
there are sometimes, like, you know, if we buy, like, burgers or something, like, we're not going to eat them. So we'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
parents, take these.
Well, I just meant on her own initiative. Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
OP offers, then of course,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if she is, you know, taking without asking first, then that's really poor form.
Yeah, which is kind of what it sounds like.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the literary pups owner say?
The literary pups owner said that I can't read, but I can write. I don't know. I'm very literary. I was written into a book, so I'm literary.
Don't worry, his book is worse than his bite.
Ah.
And today, oh, go, what were you saying?
I was just saying that makes sense.
Today is National Introverts Week. I think I was thinking like books because, you know, as an introvert, I read a lot of books sometimes. And it's also, of course, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, so go find yourself some green and dye yourself green.
No, not, I don't necessarily recommend doing that.
Full body bath of green. What could go wrong? Nothing.
Lots.
Nothing could go wrong. I assure you.
When I was in 7th grade, I used food coloring to add green highlights to my hair.
Yeah. When I was 99, I took a bath in green Kool-Aid so that I could look green for St. Patrick's Day, so that I could be the St. Patrick's Day elf.
Just the absurdity of like me to sharing a silly memory from my childhood and Brian just
Sharing a silly memory from my adulthood.
that's not, you have not been 99 yet.
And I have Mega Mint. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Remember, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it on property and taking and selling or you know, giving away, throwing away people's properties without their permission.
As a general like rule of thumb, it's best not to throw away other people's property. Although if it is a health hazard, it may be necessary to dispose of it.
I think what Amber is saying is if the shaker's got mold in it, then you toss it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!